Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Social Blueprint interview where we are always highlighting people that you may or may not know in a community. But in today's time, we are going to highlight people that I believe you do know, Moshe and Dina Kahn. Because Moshe, Dina, you two are so active in the community, like we were just discussing. We want to hear all about it, but also especially about how you live a life with purpose and impacting the Jewish community here. So with that introduction, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's very special to be here.
Okay, and for either one of you, I want to start out with the youth, but really the young adults, and I know you target more than that, but like we were saying, people in their early 20s make two of the most important decisions of their lives, their life partner and also their career. Moish, maybe, can you just talk to us a little bit about how you try to positively affect people and help them make those decisions?
Yeah, thank you. That's a great question, but it doesn't actually start when they turn 20. And if we're only starting when they turn 20, I think we are quite far behind the ball game already. So, we start, we've got a journey where it starts when they're children, when they're kids, and we're trying to engage them already on that level, keep them active, allow them to make decisions already from children, teenagers, so by the time they get into university, they're making those right choices.
Right.
And obviously we're there to support them in university. We've got this incredible division called Chabad Campus, and we've got a wonderful dynamic rabbi who works with Chabad Campus. But it's really about the prior engagement and then working with them through that journey of university, and then as they turn into young adults and start their career, and please God, start their families, and to be with them the entire journey, holding their hand, supporting them, giving them all the support they need.
Right, that certainly makes a lot of sense. And talking about campus, especially after October 7th, can you just talk to us a little bit about, have you changed your approach at all or any big learnings?
Sure, I'll tell you what we have noticed. I mean, there's a beautiful couple called Bachi and Miriam Brum. I'm giving them a shout out. They do incredible work on campus. They are a campus rabbi in Rebbetzin. They work across all the different universities. What we've seen, there's been such a demand and uptake in terms of the programs and offerings.
Really?
Yeah, so students have never felt more need to engage. So whereas it used to be you maybe finish 12 years of school and you're quite happy just to a bit disconnect, all of a sudden we found students really, really want to connect, and that's been incredible to the extent that a year ago we actually employed another couple to work with young adults just for the demands. We now have two couples whose sole focus is just to work with young people, whether it's Friday night dinners, social events, classes, educational programs, weekend retreats, summer holiday programs, you name it, we're doing it for this demographic, because 18 to 25, as you rightly said,
Right.
They are making some of the most critical and important decisions. And if we're not there to help them navigate those challenging times and to allow them to make those right decisions, you're talking about career, that's one element. But people are really at crossroads, and what people thought is right for them when they're 15, all of a sudden they wake up and they're like, we're really not interested in that. Not only that, how many people go to uni and study a law degree only to realize they have no interest in practicing law, right? How many people go to uni and and what they think they know, and unfortunately something that's it's happened since October 7, is a lot of the things that we took for granted, a lot of the things that we thought we knew, and we thought we were sure about, we've all of a sudden realized that they're no longer certainties in our life. And the only true certainties is what uni students are trying to come back to, and that is their core identity of who they are. So there's been a real increase in terms of what students are looking for. And it's definitely one of our divisions that has really grown over the last year and a half.
Yeah, and I guess, and for either one of you, the feeling of purpose, community, being together, so important. Now, I can't think of a better way to show that than to role model it. And the two of you, incredible. Maybe Dina, can you just take a stab at finding purpose of the work that you do, because certainly it is a 24/7, 365 gig, if you will, but just talk about the drive and the purpose.
Yeah, well, I'll just first start just by addressing your first question, because I just want to add something to what Moshe said, that it definitely starts from the youth, and we do work a lot with youth to empower them to be on the right direction and realize, what values that are important. But we still continue working with them and mentoring them and being there for them as they go through their life's journey. So Moshe mentioned on campus, and then also when they're YJP, which is kind of the age above campus.
That's where I know you from originally.
Yeah, and now we've started like a YJP next gen, which is like the 20s, like the real bridging to become YJP. And we definitely do a lot of, evenings and mentoring and networking connected specifically with marriage and relationships and with careers, because as you said, that is such a important part of a young adult's life. And I think especially since October 7th, I've seen a lot that people really want a Jewish life partner, whereas maybe before they would have been willing to compromise. Now they're like, this is what I need. I need someone who cares for the same values that I care for, and I place precedence in my life. So we do have YJP matchmaking, which is a division of YJP, where we specifically, do matchmaking. We have speed dating evenings. We have singles events, because we really want to allow people to meet other Jewish people and form relationships. And we also give them guidance, because nowadays people struggle in relationships to realize, what's important, how to find the right partner, what values are underlying in a relationship. And we also, like Moshe and the team at YJP, organise a lot of career evenings. Like, we just had one the other week for YJP Next Generation, and it was actually very beautiful because we had a few panelists who were in the young 20s and were talking about their careers, but were specifically bringing on the twist of how to maintain their strong Jewish identity while in their career, because it's not only choosing a career, it's also feeling proud and managing to maintain their Jewish identity while in the career, which we're seeing university students struggling with, and people in the workforce, not being as proud and being more scared. So that comes along with choosing a career path, also managing to navigate that career path with their Jewish pride intact, which is hard.
Well, speaking of that, Dina, I know there's something specific I have in mind now that we're definitely going to send this interview afterwards, because she is struggling with it herself in the workforce.
Right.
So, and have you noticed that certainly, I suppose, after October 7th, where when you think about a life partner, you do have to think about not just the here and the now, but what your life is going to look like in 5-10 years' time.
Yeah, and I think people sometimes are just thinking of short term and not always thinking of the future, or how important it is to marry someone Jewish and have a relationship with someone that has the same morals as you and wants to build the family, that you want to build in the future. Right.
So talking about connecting, can I just ask, how did the two of you connect? Because Moshe, you're from London, right, originally?
I am. I didn't think you're going to advertise that publicly, really? I grew up in London, yes.
And where did you all meet?
We met over here. So I was a rabbinical student doing a 2-year placement and studying in Sydney. In Sydney. And Dina's neighbour, a beautiful lady and a friend of mine in Sydney, were talking one day, and they said, do I have a girl for you? True story, that's what happened. And Dina and I met. And
it was funny because I was actually living in New York, dating in New York, thinking I'm going to meet someone overseas. Sure. And I had come home for my Pesach break, and that we met in Melbourne, which was ironic.
Yeah, and what could we say? It was love at first sight. And we've been together since 25 years. Wow. And we are now proud parents and grandparents.
Mazel tov.
We have a little cute baby granddaughter.
Amazing.
And if you ever watch us, baby Chai, when you grow up, just remember we love you. Because this has been documented for life. She's a little cute baby now.
Exactly.
We'll send you a picture you can post on this video.
And can I just also ask you about, I mentioned it before, about living with purpose. I really think when I see the two of you out and about, that there is a real purpose to your life. Can you just talk about how fulfilled you feel, and also maybe again, imparting those feelings on people that are a little bit younger than you?
Sure. Do you want to go? Do you want me?
Either one.
Okay, I'll start.
Start.
I think both of us individually made that decision that we want to live a life of shlichus, which is a life of giving to others and being there for others, and following, the Lubavitcher Rebbe and what he wanted from each person to find their mission in life and give over to others. And although, initially I had other career choices in mind,
I'm sure.
Then I decided I want to live a life where I'm waking up every day and I'm giving. And that's the life that I want to lead, that brings me the most joy, and also what I feel like, is my mission in this world. So it is very special, knowing that every day you're getting up in the morning and you're just, giving to others. And I think that is a beautiful mission, that even if it's not someone's sole career, it still has to be such an important value. It's a very me generation,
right.
And it's very much about me, what makes me feel happy, does it agree with me? And I'm not negating that, and we've got to have self-care, and we've got to have, self-importance and self-confidence. But at the same time, I think a lot of our happiness stems from giving to others and being there for others. And that has to be a very important value wherever we are at any age. Volunteering, there's so many beautiful organizations that people can get involved with and give to others, and that gives you a real life of purpose.
And Moshe, do you feel the same?
100%, without a doubt. Even to the extreme, you asked how we met. Before we even met, we actually asked each other, is that something, we each wanted to do? So,
really?
Yeah, so we only went out with each other knowing that we both want to go on shlichut, and it was something that was critical and important to us. But I think also to everyone out there, a lot of time people think, it's so hard to give. I truly believe you actually get more when you give than what you give. And I think it's something people have to realize. And the more you start giving, and giving doesn't necessarily mean there could be, time and energy and emotional connectivity to someone else, back to the community. There's so much that each of us have an opportunity to share. Everyone is so multi-talented, so multifaceted. And I think it's about being willing to share that with someone else. You will feel empowered. Your day will feel more enriched. I think you'll be more invigorated and have, people talk about, Dina mentioned self-care. I really believe the best self-care you could do and the best me time you could do is giving to someone else. 100%. And I think the more me time you focus on and the more needs that you think you're looking after yourself, right? I think ultimately the greater that vacuum will be and the harder it will be to fill.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you more.
So I think we've got to, and I'm not minimizing, what's going on, but I think we've got to have a bit of a mind shift, and it's got to be a bit more of, people like to talk about the iPhone generation, the IDI, and I think it's going to be the more the we and the, I'm not trying to advocate or promote different companies over here, but I think it's really going to be a shift in community.
Yeah.
And just to add to that, we try to bring that in to our youth, to really empower them, and we give a lot of, volunteering opportunities to them. And we have running in the high school, a Yad LeEzra I Volunteer program, which is I think there's 150 high school students that every week are spending at least an hour giving to others, just volunteering. We've got a lot of different branches, and you can choose which section you want to be in charge of. Do you want to, spend an hour with a primary child? Do you want to go visit an old age home? Do you want to and go help at people's homes? And they feel so empowered, and they're learning life skills, and that they wouldn't be able to learn any other way. And self-confidence, they're learning through giving, which is such an important value for them to carry into the rest of their life.
Absolutely. And Moshe, you touch so many different groups for people that can't see, and we'll link to. Well, look at that. That's crazy. I don't know how you have 24 hours in a day. Just talk to us a little bit about the different groups, though, because again, it's just such a wide swath.
So really, it's actually quite funny. It wasn't, a lot of people talk about this strategy. We have a holistic organization.
Yes.
We start from youth, and we go through, to teenagers, to younger, to uni students, to young adults, to families, and it's the full circle and offering. It wasn't a strategy. Dina and I didn't sit 25 years ago and say, okay, this is our strategy. We started off.
You didn't start at McKinsey.
No, we started off, looking after young children, and then that evolved also into became teenage. We're like, okay, we better look after them and start doing teenage work. From teenagers, they went on to university, and we started, okay, we better start looking after them in university. And then they went to young adults, and then they turn into a community. So all of a sudden we have this beautiful community, and it's become this holistic pure circle. And then we've looked like Now we've looked a bit more strategically where the gaps. So Dina made reference, we've just started something called YJP Next Gen.
Yeah.
What we've found is quite extraordinary. We started YJP back in 2013. So it's a long time ago, but not that long ago.
Right.
And what we've actually found is that the young adults that we were catering to, that we had that relationship to, sort of grew up with us. And all of a sudden, 2025, 2013, right? If you were 25 then, you're now virtually nearly 40. And then we realized, oh my gosh, there's we need to get a new cohort of young people. So we've started YJP Next Gen, and it's beautiful. There's a wonderful young committee, and they, you ask how do we manage it, because there's a group of volunteers, talking about volunteering again, who are driving this. They're empowered, and they're bringing. We just had an event literally a week ago, and there was 150 young people, and I was walking around, and it was quite hard. It was quite special.
It's amazing.
I wasn't the one having to run the event. It was this great committee. They were running it, and of course we were there to support them, but they were chairing it, they were emceeing it, they were doing the interview, they were doing, the panelists were all young people,
right.
and it was their event. It was by the people, for the people, if you like. And I walked around and, just saying hello and talking, and it was a real moment of Nacha saying, this is what it's about. And it's, I didn't know majority of the people it was out on the rooftop, but I didn't know majority of those people. And for me, that wasn't a bad thing. That was great, because that's what we're trying to do. And there's thousands of young people that need to be engaged, and our goal is unabashedly to keep engaging every person. This past summer we took, you've got it over here, we took 2,100 people on camp.
2,100?
Plus, over 2,100 people on over 21 different camps. I mean, you can see it over here, and the camps vary from overnight camps to day camps to study camps to adventure camps to a camp. We took an Israel trip. We did a family retreat.
Hold it up, sorry.
Yeah. So our goal is that there shouldn't be a child or person in Melbourne that doesn't have a holiday program in a meaningful, engaging way. And no child will ever be rejected, or no child will ever be disadvantaged for financial reason or ability reason. Every child is embraced with love and accepted, and it's been growing year in, year out. So literally every single year with our fair we have grown, and it's interesting. COVID was our largest jump. So before COVID we were 1,300.
Right. We
went up to 1,800 during COVID. I don't understand why, and we thought then our numbers would drop post COVID. We were convinced that they would, and amazingly they didn't.
Right.
They've just every single year have gone up and gone up. So this our goal was to get to 2,000. We've gone 2,100 plus. Yeah.
Amazing. Moshe, I want to ask you about a life skill which everybody needs, which is how to overcome a challenge. Because life will give you challenges, just like death and taxes, it will give you challenges. Just talk to us, unfortunately, about the recent fires at the camps, and just a little bit about and how you're dealing with it.
Sure. So we have 4 different youth camps. So over the years, we've had some incredible stories of generosity from the community. But we have 4 beautiful youth camps where we take these 21 camps. Camps,
right, okay.
Yeah. So the camps that we run them all across Victoria. So at one of our sites, which is a site called Little Desert Nature Lodge, is 300-acre property, beautiful property, 40 bedrooms, dining room, conference rooms, great facilities. Unfortunately, in the recent bushfire, which you would have seen in the Grampians and then came across the Little Desert, it traveled in 3 hours, 65,000 hectares. If you don't know what that is, something about 60 kilometers. So,
and it was the day, like we had a group there, a YJP retreat. They left at 1 that day.
11 that morning.
Some people even left, I think, 1.
Right.
And then this happened by 6 o'clock, like a few hours later.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty devastating in terms of, so you can see actually the picture over here. You could go online, but you're talking about, that's what it was, and that's what it is today. Totally burnt out, and it's not a good story. It's a challenge that we are dealing with right now, but I think no matter what the challenge is, you got to be positive. You're going to believe in a brighter tomorrow, and I think you just got to, whatever it is that you dealt with, I think sometimes, this is my theory in life, when it's something you could have avoided or done differently,
right,
then I don't mind being harsh on yourself and saying learn from that experience and say next time be better or more organized. So you can't, but when it's something that's out of your control, there's nothing you could have done better or different. There's no way we could have stopped this bushfire. It's an act of God. God decided, just go with the flow and do your best you could do to respond. So the only decision that's important is the decision you're making right now. And tomorrow's decision, you'll make your best decision that you are educated and you know how to tomorrow. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you and people that know more than you. Seek advice from them and make your best decision. And that's what we're doing every day. And it's a setback. I'm not suggesting it isn't, but I somehow believe that something good and better and bigger will come out of this. Right now, do I see that? Not yet. Do I believe that? Absolutely. So
those are words to live by. I have to interrupt. Like, that's incredible, and that's timeless advice.
It's what we're trying to do. So people are saying, "Did you collapse?" No, I wasn't happy. I'm not happy. I would much rather this campsite was operational and working, and it's we had a great strategy in place, and it was really we've only just bought it a couple of years ago, and the managers on site had done an incredible job, and we just built it up to a level where it was working for us, which is part of our broader strategy. But it's okay. It's a setback, and we'll overcome it, and we'll move forward.
Right, and the community is here to support you, and maybe even just talking about the community and your impact of giving back to you all. Just talk about the recent campaign that you ran.
So we do an annual giving day. Right. So we are absolutely reliant from the generosity of the community. Most of our programs lose money. Our university program, we're offering free lunch every day at university. We've got this beautiful couple work on campus. They do Friday night dinners. There's no income associated with that by design, not from a strategically we like, there's no way to generate income from that. Obviously for some of our programs, people pay to, whether it's camp, people pay, but even then we give out, over the 2,100 plus, over 500 of those on subsidies.
Right.
So no child will ever be rejected. So hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of subsidies.
Right.
So, and the community is incredible. We just did a 24-hour giving day, which is what we do. And, the community, we raised $1 million from close to 1,000 donors in 24 hours. And it's humbling, and we thank the community because we could not do this without the community. There's no other way of saying it. We're dependent on the community's generosity. And one thing I'll say about the Melbourne community, which I think is, if you have an idea and you're passionate about it and you believe in it, you will be able to find the money. The community is extremely generous and giving and wanting to see people thrive and succeed and want to see the community succeed. And you will get a lot of rejections, and don't be deterred by them, because that's part of the game. People will tell you no, and people, what I've found, we've been able to to get 4 campsites and we've bought them without money. And what I've found is that you think it will come from here and then it comes from somewhere else, but put yourself out there and be willing to get no's, and I promise you'll find plenty of yeses. And I thank Melbourne community for believing in what we do, and for believing in us, and most importantly, trusting us with the care of their youth and the next generation of leaders, because it's a very, big responsibility.
Well, I can't think of a better way to lead than by example, and the two of you are just incredible, and just to see you out and about and what your impact is amazing. We are coming into the Purim and Pesach time of year. In closing, any closing comments? We always try to relate it back to a story, if you will.
About the festival, or
and closing comments.
First of all, it's a festival of joy, and you know what? We wear masks because we're living in an age where people love putting on facades. People love portraying themselves. Social media today, what it's done is everybody's out there saying, "Watch this. This is what I had for dinner last night. This is what I'm eating for breakfast. This is where I'm going on holiday." And everyone looks at each other's life thinking, wow, that's such a great life. It's so incredible. And I can't believe they're doing, and I wish this, I wish that. Dina only mentioned to me the other day about, someone's life that looks so perfect in social media. And then we've spent quite a bit of time with this person, and we know what a struggle the life is. And Purim tells us, don't look at the facade, look at what's beyond. And for yourself also, don't worry about what the way the world sees you. know who you are intrinsically, and be the best version of yourself every single day, and look for the best in every person, because it is so easy to only see superficial elements. So as we get dressed up on Purim, that's the purpose, that's the point. There's more to life than what we see, and don't ever just judge another human being by the cover of the book. Just look deeper, look beyond, and don't judge yourself by the way you're feeling externally, because understand you're precious, you're pure, you're holy, and you're the best.
Moshe, Dina, thank you so much.
Dina, do you want to add something to that? Yes.
What was coming to my mind was that Purim is such a joyous festival, and especially like for the kids, like it's just so much fun. And I think that's like an important message, that we have to make Yiddishkeit, like Judaism, fun and engaging, and not like, oh, it's a set of laws and that's annoying, I have to clean my house for Pesach, but like, you know, like how do we want the next generation to be continuing it if we don't have a positive feeling about it, and we don't show them the love and the warmth? And I'm so lucky that I have Pesach, that I get to clean my house and I get to celebrate with family. And I think Purim is like that one festival that really highlights that, because it's only fun, you know, and if we can find that fun and that joy and giving it over to the children and the next generation for every festival and for every, you know, aspect of Judaism, it will want to, like, it want to be something they want to carry into the next generation and carry it with pride and with love. So I think that's like a really important message. Right.
Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
really
and you
fun.
Guys do,
Thank you.
You guys do an incredible job reading. The Social Blueprint does incredible work. It's like really the place to go if you want to know anything about the Melbourne Jewish community. So thank you. And thank you to you guys. Really incredible work. Thanks
a lot.